From the locker rooms to the fields of play, from the passion and rivalries to the championship seasons, get inside, get in depth with the newsmakers who shape sports here in the Lehigh Valley. Welcome to Calling All Sports with Keith Groller, brought to you by Lehigh Valley Health Network, a passion for better medicine.
Mark May 28th on your calendar. There's two great events happening on the same day. Two great people are behind those events. Our old friends, Jason Brader, Jen Wesco are here. Stay with us. Calling All Sports is coming your way next.
At Lehigh Valley Health Network, we know there are no routine surgeries. Each one requires a team to work at its best, every procedure, every day. When you're the one facing surgery, it's good to know you're in the hands of someone who has done this many, many times before. Last year, our network performed 70% more surgeries than anyone else in our region. The fact is, the more you do, the better you are.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Calling All Sports. My name is Keith Groller. Very happy you're spending part of your evening with us as we talk about special events here all the time. The month of May in particular has a lot of good stuff, some charity events. Of course, people have proms and they're getting ready to graduate. But on May the 20th, we have two very special events to talk about. And here to help me do that, to my far right, the great Jason Brader. Mr. Liberty High School, Mr. Muhlenberg College. Welcome back, my friend.
Thank you. It's always a great time here, so it's great to see you and Jen. So,
yes.
And the much more attractive person in the middle here than either one of us, the great Jen Wesco. Welcome back, Jen. You know, we've been doing this for a couple of years. Always happy to help promote your special event, and it's good to have you back here again. Doing it again, right?
Thank you. Thank you so much. It's really a great pleasure to be here. We have our Coopersburg 5K run on Saturday, May 28th, and we're really excited about it. It's our 10th year this year. So a long time, and we're very excited to present another great, awesome race.
No, that's terrific. We'll get to your event in a second here, buddy. But tell me about again, we'll always give the background about how the cause started and what you do with the dollars raised.
Right. The Coopersburg 5K run, again, as I said, this is our 10th year. And it really all started, I was a very big runner. Things have slowed up since then. But there needed to be a 5K in the borough of Coopersburg. And I have a nonprofit organization called Wesco Foundation for Pulmonary Fibrosis. And I founded the nonprofit organization in memory of my dad, Ron Wesco. Great man, always had the time for me and my brothers, and great dad, great husband. And so it was important for me to combine the two and have a 5K race and raise awareness for a very, very rare lung disease called idiopathic pulmonary fibrosis. So that's how that all culminated, and full speed ahead from that point.
How many years you been doing this now?
10 years.
Wow, 10 years, and that anything that lasts 10 years is doing something right. There's no question about it. Any dollar total that you've calculated over the years?
Well, definitely above $60,000, yes, throughout the years. And there was other smaller charities that benefited from the 5K along the way. But we are very, very lucky. The Coopersburg and Upper Saucon Township is an excellent area. Jason lives down that way as well. It's a great area, great community. It's a hometown race.
And talk about this disease.
Yes.
And it took your father, right? And,
yes,
and a great man, and I think you knew him well. He was one of your coaches, is that right?
Yep.
Jason?
Yep.
But tell me about it's probably one of these things that underfunded in terms of research. It's kind of, we talk so much about what I have, diabetes, we talk about cancer, but this is something that probably maybe goes under the radar a little bit.
Well, you're exactly right. When my dad was diagnosed with idiopathic pulmonary fibrosis, we really had nowhere to go. And so from that point on, I made it my mission to raise awareness and educate the public about this very rare lung disease. And so what idiopathic pulmonary fibrosis is, the scarring of the lung. They don't know exactly how it's caused. There's no cure. There are 2 medications that slow the progression down, but it is not a cure. And so thank God that is definitely a huge movement forward to help patients with IPF. So the scarring of the lungs happen, and progressively it's very difficult for patients to breathe. It's a whole family type of disease, and it's very important to raise awareness and educate. We have an IPF support group here at St. Luke's Anderson campus. We raise awareness and educate with Temple Lung Center. They are one of our Main Street sponsors, as well as Thrivent Financial for the 5K. So through the progression of the disease, and as we move forward, we've definitely affected huge population. Well, it's a very rare lung disease, so the population who is affected with IPF. We've made a big difference.
A couple of weeks ago, we had a gentleman who just had participated in the St. Luke's half marathon, running community, very tight-knit community. Do you have a good entry, a number of entrants into this thing? And
yes, we do.
No problem getting that word out. The running community knows about this event.
Yes,
right?
yes, they do. It's a well-respected course. It is U.S. Track and Field certified. So we're able to facilitate the race and just be able to get out there and get the word out.
So we're talking about the streets of Coopersburg primarily?
Yes, the streets of Coopersburg. It is a little hilly, but the final, where the finish is very strong. So it's a beautiful course. We also have the Kids Fun Run, which starts at 7:55, and we have a Health and Wellness Expo as well.
Well, it sounds like a great day.
It is.
Where's your home base? Where is it located here?
Right in the borough of Coopersburg.
Right in the park?
On Main Street in Coopersburg. That's where the start is. So we really have a range between 420 and our maximum is 523 runners. So we definitely, there's always easily over 1,500 people at the race.
I hate to tell you this, but when I think of Coopersburg, I think of 2 places.
Yes.
The Coopersburg Diner,
yes.
which I've gone to more than I care
yes.
to remember, and across the street, the Inside Scoop.
Yes.
Are we talking about your home base near those locations?
Well,
there's a park there as well, right behind the Inside
There is.
Scoop.
So you have 309. The Main Street in Coopersburg runs parallel to 309. Okay. So it's in more of the borough, by the Coopersburg Borough Hall.
Very good.
Yes.
I think I know where that is.
Yes.
Okay. You tend to think of 309 being the main street, but it is not the main street.
No.
Well, again, before we close out the show, we're going to get more details.
Definitely.
You knew Ron Wesco. What can you say about that man?
Oh, man, Coach was an unbelievable person. How I really remember him is bringing the tasty cakes. He would come in and he would have boxes upon boxes, and every kid on our team would rush up to grab them, and we'd grab boxes and just handfuls of all that great stuff. But just outstanding man, really good coach. There were a few times when I was just barely sticking on that team, and he would and he would always just like find a way to pick you up and make sure that you're really doing the right thing. So I mean, awesome guy.
Did he have those tandy cakes that I love?
Yes.
Oh
with
yeah.
The chocolate with the peanut butter and
I
love that stuff.
See, back then though, I could eat the whole box. Now, one, half of one. So,
but great man, and it's a shame that sometimes we don't recognize these people while they're with us, and it's nice that we could pay tribute to them now. But don't you feel like it's a bit of a shame that you know we have this event and now we talk about it, but maybe we didn't talk about him when he was here?
Yes, yes. My dad was definitely a player's coach, and I remember him driving around picking up the players before practice, and with the tasty cakes. I always benefited from that as well. But he definitely was a player's coach, and he always had an ear, and I'm lucky to call him my dad.
Yeah, great man, great man, great name. The Wesco name is synonymous with excellence. And we might even get into this in the second half, even now into the theater with your namesake cousin, Jen, who I'm more and more impressed with every time I see one of her shows. But anyway, May 28th, also a big day for Jason Brader. Tell me about a big day.
This is our 4th year. One of the former all-time greats here in the Valley. Dan Purse and I run this outstanding camp. We do it in Bethlehem, all right, so we're both from town there. And
the Bethlehem Steelers complex.
Yep.
Right? What do they call it? The Lehigh Little League.
Yeah, yep. So, so we run a camp, and we have athletes from 9th grade through 12th grade who come in there and learn some great skills. So this year we actually have a younger group too. We have 5th grade through 7th grade that they're going to also be able to come up and train and do.
Well, I've been over there the
stuff.
last couple of years. I usually stop by, do a couple interviews. Try not to be obtrusive to you. Try not to get in your way because you're a busy guy. But talk to some of the clinicians, talk to some of the athletes, and it's a who's who. It really has become a who's who type of deal. Everybody who has made their mark here, and the guys who are about to make their mark have been there,
Lord.
right? You really assemble a great cast of characters.
Well, just think, the first year we had Devin Street, Kevin White, Jared West. I mean, some who's who in sports around here, and like top draft picks. And these guys, they would come up and they would volunteer their time. And it really says a lot about, I think, what we've done as far as helping those kids when they were young. And it shows how much they really bought in, and how much they care about, you know, also trying to give back to the kids that are in the same boat as them. So really.
Well, and you mentioned him, Kevin White. A good time to talk about. We were special went separately, but we were. I knew you'd be there.
Yeah.
Up at the University of Scranton this past Saturday. Special day for the young man who came out of Emmaus High School, went to the same route that you did, to Lackawanna. And I'll tell you what, I have really great admiration for Coach Mark Duda up there, what he's done for Kevin White, and the respect that he still garners from Kevin White. He sent him on the right path, and now that young man is making a lot of money as a first-round draft pick for the Chicago Bears. Yeah,
see, I think at times, though, folks will see the end, right? They'll say, oh, my Lord, Kevin White is awesome. I mean, this guy's got all the tools. He has height, speed, strength. But when you really know him, I mean, he took the long route, and he had the odds stacked against him. And I know when Coach coached me, he was a dude. I mean, he was a tough guy. And his saying was, you coach them hard and they'll play harder. And he's exactly right. So when Coach gave his speech and just talked about Kevin White and Kevin's route, I mean, that really, I think, hits home for a lot of us. So I think a lot of guys have taken that same route. And I think it makes me feel proud because I've seen how far Kevin's come, and to kind of be within that mold too, you know, that kind of that tough guy mold and that I think grinder mold. So really cool.
Well, I tell the story. We got to go to break here. Tell the story. You invited me down there, and I'm like, oh, Jason, I don't know if I'm busy. I got 6 things to do, 7 things to do today. People coming at me from all corners for stories. So all right, okay. I think I covered Kevin in high school. I'll drive down there. I drove down to your, which is no longer there. You're in a different location, your Fast Performance Center. So I go down there, talk to Kevin, and it's just me, basically me, you, and the whole place. It's me, you, Kevin White, and Coach Grandy.
Yep.
And I'm thinking, okay, I'll do this story. It's, you know, I don't mind. I always like to help you out. You help me out. So we did the story. Little did I know, 2 years later, he is the hottest thing in the country in terms of receiver. The number 7 pick in the draft. And so so now whenever you say, hey, I got a story for you, I'm not saying no. I'm not saying no. That's a true story.
An eye for talent, man. He was, but the one thing about him too, he's just an awesome guy.
Coach Grandy, yeah.
Well, him, but Kevin is a humble guy, and then to see how far he's come. Think about that. That day, you're like, okay, Jay, I'll stop up to become the 7th pick.
Well, I got to be honest with you. When you're telling me, I think, okay, he's coming from Emmaus where he hardly played. He went to Lackawanna. I'm thinking, oh, he's going to struggle to get on the field at West Virginia. Little did I know that he knocked and that shows. Never discount. If you believe in yourself, if you believe in your ability, and you work hard, great things can happen.
Go for it.
They've certainly happened for Kevin White. We're going to continue our visit with Jason Brader and Jen Wesco. Stay with us. This is Calling All Sports right here on TV2.
At Lehigh Valley Health Network, we know there are no routine surgeries. Each one requires a team to work at its best, every procedure, every day. When you're the one facing surgery, it's good to know you're in the hands of someone who has done this many, many times before. Last year, our network performed 70% more surgeries than anyone else in our region. The fact is, the more you do, the better you are.
And welcome back to Calling All Sports. Again, Keith Groller with Jason Brader and Jen Wesco. I don't think I need to identify them. I think you know just by looking at them who they are. And I want to talk to you both. You're both Liberty High products. Liberty had its Hall of Fame ceremony. I was up in Scranton. I was invited to attend. I couldn't attend because I was up at Scranton. Couldn't get back in time. Had to get the story done. But great cast of characters. The 2008 football team. The state championship football team was recognized, a bunch of great athletes. Tell me about Bethlehem a little bit. I know it's a curveball for you, but I just think the world of Bethlehem, and they can be so proud, Jace. I'll start with you maybe. Mm-hmm. They can be so proud of what they've accomplished. I mean, the athletes that have come out of that city in the last 10 to 15 years knocks the socks off of just about everyone, including Parkland, which is maybe the superpower now in high school sports.
Yeah, I think from an athletic standpoint, I think there's better athletes. Parkland has some really good teams, and they have a bunch of great guys too. But Bethlehem, I think, has always been a hotbed from way back when I was a young boy. I recall watching Warren West, and Warren was actually, I think, inducted too, right? What was he in?
Warren's already in.
Yeah. So, but Warren was just unbelievable, and I would watch him. At that time, I was around 12, and I just dreamt to be someone that could maybe do the same things. And it's nuts to have actually worked with his son, Jared, and just to see how father and son, now his daughter, Kay, she's unreal too in hoops. I mean, track and field and hoops. But yeah, our town always has a bunch of great talent. And I think the one thing too, the kids are tough. I just think it's a nice fit of talent, but then along with that toughness.
Well,
so.
And maybe you could speak to this. Look, it's no longer there. I think they've done a wonderful job kind of transforming the Bethlehem Steel into that beautiful, which they still need to do some work. There's some buildings down there that are still eyesores in my opinion, but they've done a spectacular job transforming that area. I still think the Bethlehem Steel mentality, that work ethic, the blue collar, go to work, work hard, work ethic still exists in the city of Bethlehem. And that's one of the reasons we've had some great athletes. And we could talk about Allentown and Mack Trucks and so forth. Obviously, those eras are gone, but I still think some of that carryover is still there. What do you think, Jen?
I completely agree. It takes a lot of hard work, and through adversity comes strength. And as everybody's maybe going through hardships or maybe not so much, you figure out what it takes to do your best and try to succeed and hopefully get to that and accomplish the goal that you've set out for yourself. And Bethlehem is like we've talked about for the Wesco family. You know, my Uncle Ernie was the AD for a long period of time. Cousins, Kyle Wesco, Kevin Wesco, Richie Wesco, and of course Jen Wesco in basketball. And you know, just very lucky to come from a place that it takes a lot of hard work to accomplish the goals that you set out for yourself. So yeah, I completely agree.
Go ahead, Jason.
You know, I just like the fact too that sports are very important. And if you've ever gone to a game, it just seems like the stands are always packed. And I think everyone knows you too, right? When you're in town, they're like, oh my God, hey, like say with Danny, it's like, Persa, hey, what's up, Dan? And I mean, he comes back in town, and the guys all know him. And then if I go downtown, there's a lot of folks that still talk to me about when I played, and then now it's been well, quite some time. But yeah, it's just a great town.
Oh, great
sports.
Remember, I have an Allentown background, so it's a little bit different for me. But when I would go to Bethlehem for anything as a kid, this is going back. I mean, my mother we talk about this all the time. She would only want to see when they grew up a Canary fan, even though I'm a Husky from Darragh High School, like Mike Zambelli. But we would go to the Liberty game. Why? Because we had to see the Grenadier Band, which is still goosebump drawing.
Yes.
It's still my favorite band by far. No disrespect to Freedom, which is, you know, worked itself into a pretty good school with a lot of arts and music. Easton's very, very good. But Liberty Band, #1 by far. And they have these great traditions. The Memorial Gym. What a fantastic venue. I saw the Harlem Globetrotters there. I saw roller derby there. I was always going to Liberty's Memorial Gym. That stadium, that special football stadium, it just was a special field that I don't know that even if you grew up in that city, I don't even know if you knew how special it was. Your thoughts, Jason?
Well, the band is awesome. I mean, every game you would hear the band just get you, start playing, and you get so jacked up. And I think that really is a big deal too when you're playing a home game, right? When those guys start to really crank it up, I think that just kind of can change the whole vibe of the game. But yeah, the band's great. I think the school, how it's set up too, like you get kids from the east side, the northeast side, you get the south side and that stuff, and then you have to meld them into one team, and you get a great, really good mixture. So you get tough guys and you get real smart guys, you get some affluent, some poor, so I think you kind of bring all those guys in and build a great team.
And a strong sense of community. So, I mean, when you have that strong sense of community, everybody else is looking out for everybody has each other's back. And so that's the great part about Bethlehem as well.
And they have some great events now still. Obviously, Music Fest has kind of transformed a little bit. They're using more of that that area we just talked about over there by the steel stacks. But the Music Fest has been a great venue. Hotel Bethlehem's still there. There's something special that goes on Main Street there, that downtown area in Bethlehem, which I love. They have that, what's it called, the Celtic Classic or whatever in the fall. There's some good stuff happening there.
Yes.
I think you're lucky to be there. Here. This is not to be an infomercial on the city of Bethlehem, but I have great admiration for the Christmas city, and you guys are great products. But with your event, Jen, here's the key. You're down in Coopersburg now. You get that community support. Is it a tight-knit community? We don't have that many tight-knit communities anymore, but I think Coopersburg's one.
The Coopersburg 5K is definitely a hometown race, and it's a hometown tradition now in Coopersburg. And as in Bethlehem, we really look out for each other. It's a very strong sense of community. If somebody's going through adversity, they're in front of their front door, there is our dinners made, and I'm very, very proud for being a resident there, and I love Coopersburg, so we're very lucky, very lucky.
You live there?
Yeah, I'm not sure if it's really considered that, but I'm
in that general neck of the woods.
Yeah, but well, it's a great place to live. It's safe, it's clean, and I found that the schools are outstanding.
Yes.
I met Jen. Actually, it was nuts how Jen and I met, but small world. But it's well, with Jen, I could see that your father is in you. I mean, just very caring. You'll give, you'll help out folks, and I know how much you've helped Dan and I in my camp and that stuff. But I completely agree that it's a great town too.
Well, speaking that passing of the torch from her father to you, you're now helping a tremendous. I mean, Kevin White. Let's face it. I know you would never take the credit. But Kevin White is probably not in the NFL without all the work you did with him down at Fast.
Yeah, see, the one thing that I take pride in, and I think folks might not realize, is how much we do on the outside. A lot of gyms, they'll talk about helping guys get stronger, faster, and all that great stuff. See, with me though, that's kind of the expectation. You're going to do all that because you're going to work hard. But when I see it, and when I help you achieve that stuff, I'm looking further ahead. So when I see someone like Kevin White or guys like Danny and all those great guys that have passed through, I'm always thinking about how I can help them beyond the gym or field, because these guys have gone off and done some great things. And I think that your father played such a huge role in my life. And when my mom and my dad died, I really felt like I had nothing. And the only folks I had were the guys who coached me. And it's a terrible feeling when you feel like you're out in the world and it's just you. Mm-hmm. And sports have done so much to help me, and then I feel that it's my job to make sure that I can do whatever I can to help the right guys. And then with Kevin and with all the folks that pass through, I can really open the door for them, but you can't walk through it. And I'm really impressed with all the guys that have walked through the door.
Taking advantage.
And then they go on to the next door, they open it, then pass through. And then now those guys do the same thing. So I know that Kevin and those guys do a lot of good. So it's really nice to see.
And you've helped dozens of them. I know maybe Kevin right now. Devin Street's there. I met Devin, did a little story on Devin before he went out the pit.
Yeah.
So you've had a lot of great, and he's in the NFL as well.
Yeah, so, but I think at times folks will really look at those guys and say, wow, those guys have done so well, but I've trained doctors, attorneys, teachers,
That's
coaches.
the most important thing.
Yeah, people that all give back.
Everybody needs somebody to put them on the right path. It may not end up in the NFL, but we need people like you to get them on the right path in life.
Oh,
period.
Of course. And what's nuts, there's folks that I've helped that actually had gone to jail, and people threw away the key. They got out and that stuff, and then they called me and said, Jay, would you help me? And those guys are doing awesome too. So I think those guys, along with all these young kids that get to see how hard those guys have worked and where they can go if they work as hard and then have talent. So
we're running out of time. Jen, give us all the details on how you can get involved in your event, and then I'll give Jason the same opportunity.
Excellent. Yes, you could go to www.coopersburg5k.org, and all the information is on there. Registration, race route, general information, where to park, the flow of everything. And so all the information. You also can find out about our nonprofit organization, Wesco Foundation for Pulmonary Fibrosis, on wescofoundationforpulmonaryfibrosis.org, and learn more about our heartfelt cause.
Terrific. I wish you great success.
Thank
I wish
you.
you great weather. And for you too, on May 20th.
Thank you.
Real quick, how can we get involved with that clinic you have?
You can go on to my website at fastperformance.com, and that's fast spelled with 2 S's. If you click on camps, you'll find out all about all our great camps and that stuff. But the camp is May 28th from 10 to 3. And then this year, too, we have former West Virginia Jacksonville Jaguar star Aaron Beasley. He's going to be our guest, so it's going to be awesome.
Always got a star-studded cast. Jason Breder, you're a good guy. Jen, can't say enough about you.
Thank you, Keith.
Great to always have you here on the show.
Thank you.
Good friends, good people, good events. I tell you what, May 28th, a special day. Get involved with either there. I guess you could do both if you really wanted to. You could do her run in the morning and then get down to the football game. I want to thank these people. We'll see you again next week with another edition of Calling All Sports. Be well until then, everybody.